All right, another one that we want to talk about, and this goes back to the kitchen, and this becomes a very important issue and one that house cleaners are very keen on because we have lots of small appliances. Many people have lots of small appliances, and the house cleaners clean lots of small appliances. But do you need them all on your counter? And so, going back to what Aaron said about having two or three items in your kitchen, if this stuff that you have in your house can be removed, put it in the pod, put it in the garage, get it out of the house if you're not using it right now, put it inside a cabinet or a cupboard, put it out of sight, out of mind, because everything that's on your cupboard is just going to leave a cluttered look and feel. And so if you're not using it right now, are you going to use it at the next house? And if you're not, now is a good time to start getting rid of some of that stuff. We did a show a few minutes ago over on Hoarding World where we were talking about things that we bought but never use. And I was reminded of the time that I bought a waffle iron for when we got married. I was going to be like the perfect wife and I was going to like make waffles for my husband. But my husband works from sun up till sundown every single day at a car dealership. And as a house cleaner, I was out the door before he ever got up and went to work. So I was never going to actually be there during breakfast time. After about a year into our marriage, and I had made waffles maybe a handful of times, I never used the waffle iron. And so I hung on to it probably for 10 years longer than I needed to. But when it came time to move, I decided not to take it with me because in our lifestyle, that was something that was never going to get any use. So as you look around your house, what do you have in your house that you're not using, that you bought but have never used? Is it a waffle iron? Is it a juicer? Is it a blender? Are there things that you have that I don't know, it makes sense to have it because like it's cool, but you never use it? Right now is the time to start downsizing. And if you didn't use it for the last 10 or 15 years, please don't put it in a pod. Please don't put it in your garage and please don't take it to the next house. If you didn't use it for 10 or 15 years, you don't need it. You're not using it. This is not part of your life. Get rid of it, right? The purpose of moving to another place is not to find a place that's bigger that can store all the stuff as much as it is get rid of the stuff that you're not using. Like I said, there's more where that came from, right? Inheriting houses and stuff from relatives and stuff from kids and neighbors give you stuff. And at any moment, if you want something that you once gave away, you can probably get a really nice or a new one discounted on the nextdoor.com or the buy anything or buy nothing marketplace. Lots of people are getting rid of stuff. So easy come, easy go. This is not the time when you want to like be hoarding a bunch of stuff and, not processing stuff because you didn't have a place for it, right? But get rid of that clutter because the more clutter you have in your house, the harder it is. And if a buyer comes into your house and they see stuff, this is all highly organized, it's color coordinated, it looks awesome. But if somebody walked in, they're like, whoa, there's a bunch of stuff on the counter, right? It's just clutter. What do you think about clutter?
Yeah. Well, so I could go on and on and on about every room in the house, but let's talk about the kitchen for just a second. It's usually the heart of the home. It's where people spend a tremendous amount of time. And it's ultimately where your realtor is going to be having conversations with your potential buyers. So imagine your realtor is standing in your kitchen with a family and they're talking about the house. And what you want to showcase is that your kitchen is bright, it's beautiful, and it's huge. So I'm going to give you a couple of pro tips on how to make that happen. Just like Angela was saying, the decluttering part, obviously, and for sure you need to do that, but think in odd numbers. So think of three, think of five. You want the counters clean. If there's something you're going to use every day, like that coffee maker, make sure it's clean and make sure that it's there. But put away, the cord is tucked away. It's going to make the counters look much bigger, even if you've got a really tiny space or really tiny kitchen. And another pro tip is half of your cupboard space in any cupboard needs to be empty. So imagine you open a cupboard, you have 20 plates in there. How many plates do you actually need to live on a day to day basis? Four, five, six? When you open that cupboard up, it's going to make the cupboard look gigantic if half the stuff is gone. Because in people's minds, they're thinking, I need a ton of storage space. And is this kitchen big enough? Is it going to fit everything that I need to put in here? And Are we going to have enough space to make meals? All these kinds of things. If it looks like people are living there and there's a ton of space, unconsciously people are going to say, yeah, for sure, this kitchen is perfect. It's tons of room. And most of us keep our cupboards pretty full. And so if you would just take half of everything out of every cupboard and then organize the other half and put it back in, when people are in your home and they're opening those cupboards up, they're going to go, oh my goodness, there's so much storage space in here. I'm so excited. They're going to look at those countertops, they're going to be clean, and they're going to be like, wow, there's so much counter space in this kitchen. It's massive, even if it's a really tiny, tiny kitchen. And then also bringing a little bit of greenery into your kitchen. Even if it's a plastic plant, it can be a small one, but it adds a touch of color to the kitchen and people feel this warmth that it's alive, it's a warm place, it's a great place to hang out, and all of that clutter is gone. So highly, highly recommend that you take a minute to do that when you're getting your house ready to list. It's a huge difference. And by the way, um, NAR, the National Association of Realtors, say the average house cost goes up by almost $20,000 by having it staged. So just to kind of put that into perspective, what is it worth to you when you do these things and you're going to sell your home? It could be worth another $20,000 in your pocket. That's a national average. So it's a big deal to just do those simple things to pare it down.